All right, let's go. Ayo, we're three hot guys sharing our opinions because we're special and different. Gold medals, we're winning. Can't help it if we're burdened by our intellect. You can play checkers while we pretend we know the rules to chess. The council has spoken, and we are the chosen. Your nose is broken because I broke it.
This sucks.
And welcome back to another episode of Will of the Council. We've got Jordan in the booth.
I can feel the U.S. government's soy levels depleting.
We've got Danny, who I believe is in some sort of bunker with Elon Musk. What are you doing in there?
Well, now what am I supposed to do with this cheese head we bought for protection?
He's doing a wellness check on him.
Oh, man. And of course, we've got Becky on the ones and twos. How's everybody doing today?
A little better. Just a little bit.
Like a slightly better.
Today's really, really important discussions are the Nintendo Direct that had Silksong and Deltarune in it. Holy shit.
Yeah!
There's
Oh my
like
God.
a new Donkey Kong coming out.
The
There's
new
a new
Donkey
Mario
Kong?
Kart.
Deltarune tomorrow.
Man.
Silksong announced
That's
like
like
a piece of
super
baloney.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They were like, oh yeah, and Silksong's coming out. It was like mashed in with 1,000 things. It was like, we are going to have a new Donkey Kong. Silksong's coming out next week. And Mario Party 12 is coming.
I watched this incredible edit
so
of in Toy Story 2 when the piggy bank, he's like flipping through the TV channels and each channel is like a different game that got featured and they're like, oh, how are you supposed to tell? I can tell. And it like flips through Silksong and they're like, wait, go back.
Oh, man.
Good stuff.
Regardless, by the way, if you haven't seen the Deltarune trailer, I'm like super excited.
Oh, it's so
It looks
good.
really fun.
Dude.
But we're not talking about that shit. We are talking about the state of politics. We're doing the opposite of what we usually do.
Yeah, well,
Usually we say, oh, you know, we've started sending citizens to El Salvador just for the hell of it. But what today we're talking about Lindsay Lohan's comeback. Well,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
doing the opposite. We are talking about politics. And we're talking about politics specifically within the context of, are you familiar with the Wisconsin special election?
Yeah.
No.
So this is a fun thing that I realized kind of entering my later 20s is that when you're growing up, you think that the presidential election is the most important election in the United States. That's fucking dumb, actually. That's all wrong. Your understanding of politics should be the election for the sheriff's intern that gets coffee for them 3 times a week. That has massive political ramifications. The special election to elect like the next librarian, that should be the shit you worry about more than anything else, apparently, is what
I mean,
I've learned.
obviously the presidency matters. Obviously federal races matter. But it is funny to be like, your day-to-day is probably going to be more impacted by the comptroller's dog. They do a write-in ballot on the website attached to the library where you can vote the breed of the comptroller's dog. And if you get it right, like, you will live in a prosperous utopia. And
Yeah.
if you get it wrong, you better be ready for hell.
Yeah, the wealth gap grows by like 12 more percentage points.
Is that why we had to endure the Biden's dog's Twitter account?
Yeah.
Dude, I actually liked Biden's dog's Twitter account. I did like they were like, oh, we're having a rough day. Like, that was totally soy. But I think
Yeah.
once the dogs started biting people,
I
they should have
know.
taken a turn. Like, the dog should have just paid for Twitter Blue and spent like a couple of hours writing like a 5,000 word post that's like, they're all around me. They're all around me. I can see them. I know what's going on here. I know what's going on. They're trying to hide it. I have to stop it. And like, people would do wellness checks on the dog. And then like that coincides with the dog chewing on people. It would have been fun.
Yeah.
But no, we're talking about the Wisconsin special election, which you may, dear listener, have heard of, and you will also be excused for thinking it was tantamount to the presidency, because the media circus surrounding this stupid fucking election was unthinkable.
Yeah.
I mean, we were seeing like primetime news sources spending hours tracking what this election was, which, to my understanding, was an election to replace a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
God, it just,
Not the Supreme Court of the United States, the state Supreme Court.
yep. The state of Wisconsin. That's it. Just some ragtag special election. Like,
It was on like fucking Fox News with like a Decision 2025 banner. It was so funny.
It's got a decision desk post on it.
yeah, yep.
The reason that they had such a circus surrounding this is twofold. Firstly, there is a pretty big impact when it comes to this specific election. It determines if the libs in Wisconsin will retain a majority in a year, that it looks like there's going to be a lot of hugely important issues on the ballot, things like abortion access, if we decide that trans people get human rights, things of that nature, and many such cases. And there is a redistricting that is happening in, I think, 2025 in Wisconsin that may impact how seats are divided with respect to the House, like the federal House of Representatives, which presently the Republicans control by like a seat and a half on a good day. So this stupid election for like liberal boomers to get excited about became kind of the referendum on the first 3 months of the Trump presidency.
Yep.
Like the first mechanism by which you could kind of test the quality of the water. And let me tell you, it got so out of hand so fast. Elon Musk dumped like $25 million into this race.
Yeah, an exorbitant amount of money.
An absurd amount.
He started doing this thing where if you signed a petition with respect to Wisconsin Supreme Court like impeachment proceedings, he would just hand you a hundo. He started doing a thing where one lucky voter every single day for the week of the election would get $1 million.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
just
watch
a
out,
big
guys.
fucking check.
I'll
I know
go
what
to
you're
the money
thinking.
president.
Does this violate campaign finance laws? And the answer is, who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You can just
Yeah.
give people money now. You can just be like, "I vote for me. I'll pay you." Like,
yeah, as we said many times before, we're quickly finding out that all of these institutions that have been like bloviated to us throughout our lives with how much they're important and how much they matter, none of that shit matters, apparently. But the crazy thing about this is that, as Joseph, as you mentioned, like, what is the flavor of the water after these first 3 months of the Trump presidency? And the fact that Elon was so ingratiated in Wisconsin and was doing this, like, you could win all this money, people fucking hate this guy.
Let me read you a tweet of his from yesterday. His tweet from yesterday is, "What's at issue here is control of the House of Representatives. This Wisconsin Supreme Court race will decide the future of Western civilization." It's amazing. It's so good.
That's
It's
awesome.
so good. I think people, they had tasted the water after the Trump presidency and they said, you know what? You know what I'm tasting? I'm tasting a little salt. I'm tasting a little umami. I'm tasting soy. And they said,
Lots
soy.
of fucking soy.
I'm sorry, I can't do this. He got blown out of the water.
Unbelievably.
The vote blew no matter who liberal ended up winning. And in a race that
Yeah.
a bunch of analysts expected would take like a week to call because of how close it was going to be, they called it 45 minutes after polls closed.
Unreal.
They were like,
That's
nah,
awesome.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
over. So the fallout of this was, of course, a bunch of people being like, oh, they cheated. But also Elon Musk, who, I did not know this, in the past 6 months has not gone more than 30 minutes without tweeting, period.
Yep.
Has spent an entire night offline just sort of licking his wounds.
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's
And they are
awesome.
big wounds, too. That is the thing that I think people really underestimate is, and I'm blaming myself for this, too, because, oh, God, we've spent the past, 6, 7, 8 episodes of this, just me especially, just sitting in my chair like Shinji, you know, with the just like head in his lap. I can't believe this is the way the world is going. You just forget that everybody does actually hate this guy, you know?
Yeah,
They
he's a
voted in
dickhead.
Trump, but once Elon stood in that White House too, everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, why is he here? We didn't vote for you. Across the aisle, and just worldwide politics wise, no one likes him.
I
No one likes
personally
this
did
guy.
vote for the
I
first
don't
buddy.
understand. He's such a likable guy.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
true,
the big
for
problem.
sure. So the fact that like this was Elon's race, basically, obviously he wasn't the candidate for the Wisconsin Supreme Court, but so much public knowledge was there for him being the person trying to spearhead and fund this thing to get the conservative candidate there to win. And for his efforts to be so unbelievably blown out of the water, it's a pretty telling victory. And I think there's another funny thing that happened in the fallout of this is this post.
So as a result of this fallout, earlier today, posted maybe an hour before we started recording, was an article on Politico that says Trump tells Inner Circle that Musk will leave soon.
Boom!
Now, I am not going to celebrate this for fear of falling for it again.
Yeah.
But boy, would this be nice.
It would be really great.
If there's one thing Trump dislikes, it's a fucking loser. And what we learned last night, aside from the fact that liberals will show up in droves for an out-of-season election for dog catcher, is that Musk is a loser. No matter how many stupid stunts he puts together, he can't overcome the fact that he's a weird, malformed freak. And then everyone who comes in contact with him is like, actually, this guy is some sort of freakish Nazi.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Trump, listen, we haven't always seen eye to eye. You do this for me, and you know what? We will have agreed on something. We will have one thing in common.
It's sad because as much as I want to, I very much so hold the Hassan position on this, which is the selfish feeling that I have is I want Elon out of there because I do not like him. He is a gremlin. I can't fucking stand him. But with him being there, it does support our agenda, which is people hating Republican politics. But I just fucking hate the guy. Like, I just hate
I want him gone.
I do too. Yeah.
And we might get it. We might get it. You know, knock on wood.
Please.
All right. Y'all ready for the post?
Yes, let's do it. God, finally. Just like a win. I just get to revel in this, like a little thing.
We got 3 fucking incredible ones today. I'm
so excited.
Before we started recording, Joseph was like, you guys are not ready for these. And I was like, oh my God. Okay.
These are all from Augur. Thank you so much, Augur. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
This first one comes from r/relationship advice. I can't believe it. And it is 5 days old. It says, 29F found a gay porn video opened on my husband 32M's laptop. He says he was just using it to learn Spanish noun genders.
I believe him.
Yeah, like what's the problem? Like obviously,
porn.
I don't understand.
Dude,
what's the issue?
That's what needs to be in schools.
It's how weebs will watch anime and be like, I'm learning Japanese actually.
Okay, but that's true though. I do learn Japanese from watching anime.
Yeah,
Do you watch
for sure.
hentai? Do you watch hentai to learn Japanese? Yeah.
You know, it actually really helps if I can associate a strong emotional connection with each individual, a word. That's why I jack off while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I honestly believe him with absolutely no additional evidence. Do you guys want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool.
I get it. He was immersed.
For the benefit of the reader, let's give it a little bit of
Sure, I guess.
a little bit of a once-over, but it's going to take a lot for me to change my mind. My husband and I work slightly different schedules, so he has the house to himself for a few hours most nights. We've been together for 6 years, married for 3, and we don't have any kids. I think I might know why that is. If I'm being honest, I think I might know why that is.
I was going to make the same joke. I'm so glad you did it.
It's amazing.
Last night, I'd left my laptop at work open by accident, so I opened up his to watch some videos while I ate dinner. He was in the other room. There was a pretty hardcore gay porn video opened up on the laptop. It was paused, but partway through playing. Real quick, what do you think pretty hardcore gay refers to?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is there a difference between hardcore gay porn and like pretty hardcore gay porn?
Yeah, there was like, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to try and make a joke about that. Yeah, actually.
Sound off in the comments.
No, go ahead. Fire it off.
Jordan,
I know you got one brewing. I know you got one brewing.
I'm all right. I don't even know what I could joke about that would be problematic, which is why I'm not gonna do it. How about that?
Oh, totally true. Totally true. When I confronted him about it, he said that he was trying to associate contextual sense memory technique that he thought of to learn Spanish noun genders and not actually jacking off to it.
I'm going to associate contextual
What are we thinking? Is that true? I think that's true.
After this, if you know what I'm saying.
That is the most young 30s man reasoning for something ever.
Dude, I'm writing this one down. I'm writing this one
I'm saying
down.
that
dog.
for the rest of my life now.
Bro, that is the most corporate speak plus therapized way to explain you're going to do something.
Setting a boundary by practicing mindfulness by edging my big cock.
Yeah, I'm practicing cross-functional mindfulness right now.
God, you're so good at this, dude.
I know.
I'm associating penis contextual feelings to my jacking off technique.
Penis context. Okay, here we go. For some backstory, we've both been trying to learn Spanish. Admittedly, he is trying a lot harder than me. Yeah, no, duh.
I think he really is.
Of course. Like, we literally just...
We know he
okay.
is.
For Spanish nouns, female la nouns end in A, and most male L nouns end in O. All right, we all understand how this works.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
You don't have to... Yeah, of course. But there are a bunch that don't. La vaz, el poder... I'm saying these wrong.
Vaz,
can
bro.
you...
La vez.
La vez. Okay. Come on.
I don't know what to
That's why
tell
we
you.
have
That
you
was
on
an
here,
E.
I'm just a humble cracker.
Yeah, that's true.
Where genders are kind of random and are hard to memorize. That's true for a lot of romance languages, though, I feel. It's like, we get it. You guys decided that, chairs are female. How am I supposed to know that?
That actually
It's
does.
so annoying.
He said that by reading about the contextual clustering memory techniques, he saw a suggestion it's better to group non-standard female nouns together and learn them separately from the non-standard male nouns. So one day you would spend a couple of hours on flashcards which have la vez, la clase, etc. The next day you have flashcards that are only el poder, el hombre, etc. Okay, all right. That sounds good.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear where jacking off works into this.
Yeah. Gotta hear. Where's the porn? Let's hear the porn.
I get the rest of it so far. It's the jacking off I don't really understand. He said that he thought of his own idea of creating a stronger here we go. Sense memory by having lesbian porn playing on days when he is studying female nouns and gay porn playing on days when he is studying male nouns.
Bisexual
He
king.
says he plays the video on his laptop and uses a flashcard app on his phone.
Dude, I also can only learn things when there is porn in my peripheral vision. I get it, bro.
Dude,
I
you say that,
understand.
all I could think about was like, you're like in class or you're trying to learn something, and instead of Family Guy funny moments, you needed porn. Like, boring ass, like,
Boring off
spreadsheets
flashcards.
need porn.
This flashcard's so boring. I need to jack my little ding dong. This is so good. Honestly, I gotta tell you, I've spent a lot of time thinking about like what the worst excuse for this type of behavior would be, and I think this is it.
It's so good.
It hits both downsides to me, which is that it is so convoluted that no one would ever believe it, and it's just like unbelievable, like on face.
Insane.
Like sometimes you can come up with a story that's super convoluted, but is believable, or a story that is believable, but like
It's like really simple.
This guy is like, no, it's hard and you don't understand it. I asked him if I could see his browser history to confirm this. But he uses incognito mode. Oh,
We got a smart aleck over here.
The part about him separating the male and female nouns is definitely true because I saw the flashcard app. I did quiz him on Spanish non-standard nouns, and he was fairly good at remembering the gender, although I know he spends most of the time between when he gets home and when I get home studying Spanish anyways. This is genius. I love that she's like, oh, you've been jacking off while studying, eh? Let's prove it with a pop quiz.
True.
What's penis? Go. What's
He's
ass?
got to know that one.
culo.
He's like that's the number one he would know. What if she like tests him by being like, all right, start naming off male nouns, and he's like, el poder, el hombre, and then he starts like, you and she's like, okay, all right, okay. That makes sense. It checks out. Does anyone have any suggestions for how I can get to the bottom of this? It feels so borderline plausible. Does it?
Does it really?
Especially because it would just be such an insane lie to think of on the spot. He does act very homoerotic with his friends, but I know that's just how a lot of millennial men act. Okay, guilty. I feel awkward asking him to
That
do
is
a
true.
boner test to see if he gets aroused watching a video, but I also don't want to look back in 10 years if I catch him with a man and think, wow, I was such an idiot. TLDR, I found gay porn opened on my husband's laptop. He says he watches it to create associative memory for learning Spanish L nouns that don't end in O. Not sure if he's an amazingly creative liar or secretly bi or gay. Well, how do we feel about this one?
Why? To what end? Okay, here's the thing that I can't, if you were the man in this situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this joke is going to kind of encroach, like, why are you in the closet? I'm not saying that.
Sure.
It's just like, if you're in the closet, I don't know, like, why the gay porn just chilling there, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just because this is an experience that I have not gone through as somebody that is straight. So, like, this lie that you've made is so elaborate. I don't know.
Joseph, you're our
cannot-
token bisexual.
Yes,
give us some.
yes,
give us
please.
some.
Can you put what? You can't say that. All right. But yeah, I have a little bit of insight.
Okay,
First
good.
up, I do like that she says, I just don't understand. It'd be so crazy to think of on the spot. And it's like, don't worry. He didn't think of this on the spot.
Oh, that's true.
This guy is jacking off to enough gay porn to kill a horse. Then he has got a contingency plan when it comes to what am I going to do if I get caught? And this elaborate scheme is probably something that he has been ruminating on for a very long time, I would imagine.
Okay, do we think he is in the closet? I mean, he's got to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Are you fucking with me? No, dude, I think that he's creating associative memories between his penis and a man's asshole.
That shit pierced the heavens.
Do you think he's in? No, dude, I don't think that he is actually studying. I think he's jacking off the gay porn.
Either. I just am trying to like the world in which you just so closely to your partner watch gay porn. Like, I don't know. It's so just crazy to me.
Maybe he wants to get caught. You
And
know, maybe
that
it's
could
like
also
kinky.
be true.
You know, who knows?
Yeah, that could also be true.
Maybe okay, but maybe he like subconsciously wants to get caught, so he can be like, no, you know, I do have these urges, etc., etc.
Well, it's strange because she also catches him with lesbian porn. Like he's like, no.
No,
it's
she
equal-
doesn't.
or sorry, she doesn't.
No,
Sorry, let me.
no, she does not.
Sorry, let me
She catches him
clarify.
with gay
I know,
porn,
she
and he
catches the
says,
gay porn.
"I do lesbian porn."
No, but he admits both, right? He's like, yeah, it's the gay porn and the lesbian porn. So now
Yes,
I'm like,
because if it was just the gay porn, he'd be gay. But if it's the lesbian porn, then he's just using it to study, you know?
Like, we don't know that he watches lesbian porn. We only know
Well,
the
he
gay
tells
porn.
us. He tells us that he does.
Yeah.
That must mean he does.
well, okay,
True.
yeah, that's true. I just wanted to make sure we talked about it.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to be talking a lot about it. No, I just like, yes, he is jacking off to gay porn. No, I do not buy this story, but I applaud the creativity, I will say, of course. It is a very creative story.
Okay, here's my actual question, and I should clarify before I get accused of asking a ridiculous question, which is why people are in the closet. Why is it on the laptop? Don't you have a smartphone? Like, if you want to hide it, just go to the bathroom and put it on your smartphone. I have never watched porn on like a desktop or laptop computer. I don't.
Are you
What?
kidding
Why?
me, dude?
I've never done that.
What?
I think I've watched porn maybe once ever on a device that is not a laptop or desktop.
Huh? No shot.
Yeah.
he's a
Yes,
big.
of
I should know,
course.
considering we were roommates.
But see, that's the thing. That right there.
Hold up. You're telling me that, and you know what? This goes for all of the people in the comment section too, because I know people are going to get on my fucking dick about this one. You're telling me that you have elected voluntarily to jack off to a 3-inch by 5-inch screen, 40 to 50% of which is covered in the stupid types of ads you can't block because iPhones don't come with ad blockers. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to jack my little ding dong off to that because it's a phone. I have to hold it in my other hand, which is shaking because I'm jacking off.
Look,
Really?
I
That's
have
what you're
very
doing?
good finesse and control.
I am gonna say it is a bit of a skill issue at that point.
No, like, I'm sorry. I don't. First of all, you can full screen a video, okay? You just hit the full screen button and then the ads aren't there. Like, I feel
No,
this
there's
is-
definitely ads.
Yeah,
there's
but you
not.
skip them and then you click the full screen and then boom.
And then it's there. The whole phone screen is all nippled up right for you, bro. Like,
Please
You're gonna be
don't
nippled
say it
up
like
when I'm
that.
done with you.
yeah. Look, I don't understand the need to, like, watch porn on the big screen, bro. Like, I don't
You ain't never heard of the Fap Top, bro? Come on.
No, I don't understand. Why? Okay, are you... Okay, this is the other thing. If you're fapping it in front of a laptop, bro, like, are you clothed and ready for the day? Like, what the hell? Like, you get up, go to the bathroom, whack that shit into the porcelain hole, and then you just, like, go in the shower. It's done. It's good.
All I'm learning is that you view masturbating as akin to taking a shit.
I do,
Something
yes.
you have to do as efficiently as possible with no joy involved before you get up and go along your day. I'm
Now, whoa,
sorry
whoa,
that
now,
I think
whoa.
beating my meat is a joy. I'm sorry for loving myself.
hold
Is that
on.
what you want to
I
hear?
can't believe I'm
sorry
agreeing
that
with
I love
Joseph
who
here.
I am.
Now, you say that there's an absence of joy. I disagree with that. I start my day off great.
Yeah, I love jacking off into the toilet. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, on a 3x5 screen while I'm hunched over in a weird way so the cum gets into the toilet, not onto the floor. Yeah, that rocks. It's like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, but then if you do it in front of your computer, it's like 2 p.m. and you gotta like jerk it into a napkin that you grabbed out of the old Wendy's bag on the floor. Like
Out of an old Wendy's bag, dog. I'm jacking off in a Puffs plus lotion. I'm jacking off in my Sunday best. I'm jacking off reclined in my Herman Miller chair. You're the one jacking off at your porcelain throne at work. You're like, oh, if I do it in 5 minutes, they won't think that I'm taking too long of a bathroom break. You're the one who's checking your McDonald's uniform to see if any cum landed on it that you got to wipe off before you go back to flipping patties. Me, I'm jacking off. I'm jacking off in ecstasy. I am in joy. I apologize, apparently.
I still can't get with this. I just don't like look,
Guys,
there's
we
nothing
can
wrong with
settle
jacking
this
off,
with
obviously.
Jerkmate ranked, okay? Chill.
Hop on ranked right now. 1v1 me.
Hopefully that explains my questioning a little bit more. I need people to get inside my mind so they can understand why I'm struggling with this.
I'm getting inside something. That's what I'm telling you.
At the core of what Jordan's saying is, which I do agree with, is, bro, how do you leave the porn up on your laptop? Like, you obviously know incognito. You're like hiding the porn. Like, it's not that damn hard. You just like forgot one day and then just like left it. Like, fuck.
I don't know, man.
It does
the
happen,
other
but,
thing,
like-
it's just like downloading porn. I don't understand downloading porn either. Like,
Oh, downloading porn is an evil thing.
It is
just
rough
let the
at that point.
xnxx.com algorithm do its job. Like, just fucking
I have one story about downloading pornography.
great.
Oh,
I can't
good.
wait to hear it.
So you all may not know this about me, but I'm old enough to predate tube sites.
Okay.
So
yeah,
all of you
all of us
Zoomers
here.
in the audience may not know how porn used to be distributed, but it used to be there were 100 different websites that you had to buy an individual subscription to, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you would just get like the one video of theirs they would make a month, right?
Yeah.
So when I was coming of jacking off age, what I would do is from one of these skeevy ass websites that I'm sure were just covered in viruses.
Yeah.
I downloaded the 30-second preview that they had on their website like a commercial, and I would put it on a 512 KB flash drive. I would
Dude.
take it upstairs
Oh no.
to my 2001 iMac. I would load it onto the iMac and I would watch the video in QuickTime. And I would have to, every 30 seconds, move my hand back up to the mouse to jack off.
I can't believe that I'm going to say I've done something pretty much the same thing.
Yeah! Of course you have, Danny. Of course you have.
Yeah, I'm I don't know. I didn't do any shit like that.
Well,
I guess
'cause,
I
like,
just use my imagination or
When
whatever.
you're younger, you don't know like how to like search for porn, and especially during our age, it was like
There was not a Pornhub.
right,
There was not
no Pornhub,
X-Hamster.
there's no like websites you can go to, so you just like found these like websites that had like clips you could buy. But we was like, well, I don't fucking have money, but they had preview videos, and I was like, well,
Yep.
that'll do.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. You're
Thank
very
you.
you MacGyvered your way into an orgasm. Proud of you.
Hey,
That was part of the joy of it. You had to work for
You
it a
gotta
little
do
bit.
what you
Not like
gotta do.
today when you're taking a shit and you're like, well, I'm here. I might as well whack my little ding dong
It's the
off.
best. The best.
Okay, we've gotten a little off topic here. Just a teensy bit, I guess I would say.
what?
So when it comes to this woman, I mean, what are we thinking? Do we think that there is any chance in the world that the guy is actually trying to create an associative contextual sense memory technique?
No,
Maybe they're
there's no-
neurodivergent.
Yeah, the neurodivergent and gay. So I hope what's going on here is just that the guy likes whacking it off to gay porn, but is afraid to tell his wife.
Yeah.
Like, that's hardly the end of the world. If he's gay, it sucks.
Well,
but like he
right,
could
yeah.
be bisexual. He could be exploring himself.
Yeah.
This is your husband. Like, I think the way to deal with this is to be like, listen, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire
Yes,
life.
Yes.
I'm
yeah.
not saying that you're lying, but if you are, trying to explore your sexuality or whatever, we are a partnership. I want to know what's up. And, no guarantee that this woman is amicable to that type of thing or what kind of relationship they have. So I can't really, give too much here, but I certainly hope that that is closer to what's happening than if he's gay, I got to leave him. So let's get this out of the way.
Yeah, I don't love that. Of course, you're right. You can be annoyed with your partner for making up the dumbest shit I've ever heard and be requisitely mad at them for that, But to the core of it, there is some sort of discussion here that can be had about, hey, is there something you want to talk to me about? Like, I would at least want to be, now that I've found this, can we explore this? You know, I am your partner. I'm a safe person to talk to. Hopefully, they are a safe person to talk to about this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I can't.
It could be a miserable ass situation where the guy's like, no, I think I am gay. And like, that's that. But like,
Yeah.
if that's that, you would much prefer to find out now
Yeah.
than for him to hide it for 10 years and it ruin your life once you have like, you're so ingratiated in each other's lives that there's no way that you can negotiate a situation like this.
Yeah.
I mean, not to reference Ari Biza post, but that was a perfect example of how to handle kind of the, like, if your husband is gay, kind of very rationally, because she referenced in her post was like, if he's so gay or bisexual, that's okay. I just, you know, we have a family. I'd love to talk about it. If we need to split, we need to split and, you know, kind of sit down and work out our life because, you know, I'm your partner and I want to do that with you. And we were all
God,
like,
thinking back to that post, I'm like, that woman was so understanding.
yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck? How was she?
I know. I guess, I don't know. Part of me is conflicted because is she allowed to sort of, I don't want to use force him to, but I guess like pressure him to come out? If like, okay, let's make the assumption that this guy is either closeted gay or closeted bisexual. Okay. As the woman in this situation, is it fair to the man here for her to be like, I have now seen this, not saying I don't believe you, but this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I really need you to be honest with me. Is that pressuring him to come out? Is that bad? Again, this is as someone who is straight, I don't really know that sort of the pitfalls there.
I get the importance of being like, it's on your own time type deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just I will say with at least a little bit of experience, knowing that your partner is a safe person to talk to about this is going to help them a trillion times more than trying to, quote, come out on their own time, end quote, with the sword of, is it going to ruin my relationship hanging over them?
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing that they are in a position where they're not going to get completely fucked just by exploring this stuff is going to be a net positive regardless.
Yeah.
And I do, you know, it's a rough conversation to have. It's a rough position to be in for everyone involved, but certainly it is not helped by doing, what if I Rube Goldberg my way into being straight? Like that's obviously going to help.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that perspective because that was a genuine question I was asking for, like, I don't know.
agree.
Obviously you don't represent the entirety of the gay community, but
He does.
True.
No,
It is something I was curious about.
every person has a different experience with whatever, but like
Yeah.
Right.
the easy shorthand is being supportive to someone who may be questioning their sexuality only does good.
Yeah.
It never does harm. So you might as well.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Are we ready to vote on this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Decision time.
Let's vote on this. Do we think the husband is telling the truth? All right, ready?
Thanks for making this one easy. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. That's a 3-0.
Yeah.
Big, you're just crazy. We all do this.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, I agree.
The council has spoken.
All right, that was supposed to be the easy one. You ready for the second one?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
This one comes from Relationship Advice. It's 1 day old. Fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Yum.
My M27 autistic wife, F24, has become obsessed with joining the military.
Okay.
Can you change, honey?
Couldn't you just be in a
Can
trains
you
or
change
something?
your hyperfixation, please? Can't you just be into
Yeah,
like Kingdom
I-
Hearts or something?
You know, Yu-Gi-Oh's a really great game. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's almost like the Anyway, do either of you have family members that were in the military?
Yeah.
Yes.
For reference, both my parents were, so this should be.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
No.
why, and I know you're such an ardent supporter of the military.
Oh, true.
I will say the environment I was raised in, I did have relatives who were in the military, and every one of them fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, don't under any circumstances
it.
do this.
I'll serve crack before I serve
okay,
this
okay,
nation.
Throwaway account because she is an active Reddit user. If we have any veterans in our audience, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
TLDR, my wife has autism and often gets hyper fixated on things. Her latest obsession is joining the military, and we're actively fighting about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would expect so. So to preface, we have been married 2 years and have a 2-year-old daughter together. Oh, no.
Oh,
My
boy.
wife has... do some math, by the way. Are we thinking shotgun wedding?
Nah.
22 and 25.
Oh, I no married.
Married 2 years, daughter's 2 years old, so got pregnant 9 months before the wedding.
It can be, but it's not always. I don't want to put that.
High chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make that judgment.
Oh, I'm always about the creative reading.
Oh, fair enough.
My wife has autism. She was diagnosed last year, but she struggled with feeling different her whole life. She gets on fleeting obsessions that she fixates on, but this feels different. I work in finance and make more than enough money to support our family. She works part-time making floral arrangements from home simply because she enjoys it, but I've always considered myself the sole provider. Okay, first and foremost, what a dream life this woman is living.
no
Oh my
kidding.
God.
I make floral arrangements at home. God, I would kill to be this woman.
Yeah.
Instead, I got thumbnails at 2.
Yeah, I got thumbnails due at
you
2.
little bitch.
I got podcasts due at 5, man.
I'm
my
recording
God.
with the 2 most jobless motherfuckers ever right now. I don't want to hear it from you.
I should probably get a job.
Lately, she has become absolutely obsessed with joining the military, specifically the Navy. Okay, wait, we might actually have a similar situation to our last one in that
Shut
case.
up!
Hold on.
I knew it when
Hey,
you
I'm
said
thinking
the Navy.
I'm thinking of joining the Navy. If you catch
God.
my drift.
Maybe she can
spends
Fujo
practically
out.
all of her spare time watching military movies, browsing military subreddits, and watching military TikToks. We are from a large military town, so the majority of her friends are army wives, but she has a lot of online friends on Discord that are also enlisted or military spouses. I do have to ask you, are you familiar with army wife TikTok?
Thankfully, no.
Is
It's-
it anything like the army wives on Facebook?
Exactly like it.
Yeah.
Exactly like it. You will address me by my husband's rank type shit. It's like they all make the same video, which is like, it'll start with like a sad song. It'll be like doo 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 doo. You know those like the sad sounds that they play on TikTok.
Yeah.
It'll have the grayscale
Yes.
filter, and it'll be like, it must be so hard for your husband being away fighting all the time. And then the text will be like, yeah, but what I don't tell them is it's hard for me too. Try being a mom with a military husband, raising a kid not knowing where your father is. Try being a mom who gets ungrateful looks at the target because people don't respect your husband's military service. And it's like doo 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 doo. It's beautiful. It's wonderful stuff. They're all like this.
Just
It's beautiful.
my favorite kind of victim mentality. It's the whole, not to attribute everybody like this as a conservative, but I will do that. It's like, everybody thinks that everybody on the left is like a conservative, progressive snowflake, but then it's like, oh, everybody hates me because I'm a single mom, but it's because my husband's in the military. I'm actively, I believe in the Christian God, and I'm persecuted in this nation.
You will never understand the pain of being a Christian
Yeah.
in America. Meanwhile, her husband's off in the Navy studying Spanish, if you catch my meaning.
Right.
Oh, baby, I'm creating an emotive memory if you'll just close the closet. I was always thinking if the draft came back, I would try and weasel my way into the Navy. I think that would be a better time than anything else. Oh, you're just cleaning ships all day. You're like cleaning ships, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like a little gay. They do TikTok dances now. That's probably what she's watching on TikTok. But
Yeah.
like Navy guys will be doing TikTok dances and routines. That's fun.
That's fun.
If you get a bomb dropped on an aircraft carrier, it is the worst way to die in the world. But outside of that, it's great.
Cool. Can you read the post?
Yeah, all right. I consider myself a very level-headed and reasonable person, but I absolutely do not want my wife enlisting. I firmly believe this is a hyperfixation, and the second she gets bored of it, she will want out. I don't want her signing a 4-year military contract and then getting bored of it in a few weeks. Our daughter is a major mama's girl and attached to my wife, to the point where she gets separation anxiety being away from her for any amount of time. My wife has asked my mother-in-law if she would be willing to care for our daughter while she goes away to boot camp and is doing extreme workouts to prepare herself. A few days ago, I tried to approach her on this, and I told her I don't want her joining the Navy or any military branch. We own a home, we have a daughter, and a great life. She has everything she could possibly want, and this whole thing feels like a slap in the face. She became extremely defensive and upset and insists this is what she wants. I'm just stumped. I do not understand why she is doing this. How would you deal with this? I don't know how to approach her without seeming like a complete and utter asshole. What's the matter, Snowflake? Never seen a patriot before?
You ain't never see someone defend their country before? I don't know. This is like very tough to try and like sit down and explain like this is an incredibly rash decision, right? Like,
Yes.
this is super rash, and you're not like thinking about, it's not just me, right? Like trying to tell you about this. We have a family, right? We're supposed to work together, and this decision does not, this is a really big issue.
Yeah, looking at this from even away from all my points of how I feel about the US military or anything like that, the military takes a huge chunk out of your life, and you will be a different person when you come back from it. I'm not even talking about if you go to see combat or whatever. Like, when you go to boot camp, you are going to change in maybe small ways and different ways than others. But you know what? Fuck that. Not even talking about that. You're going to be gone for boot camp, and you're going to have like military commitments to fulfill. And you're going to be like away from the house. That is like a huge lifestyle change from what you and your partner have agreed upon. Like, that's
It's a huge
Let me do a little bit of creative reading.
Sure.
yeah.
So all through this post, the guy is saying shit like, I give her everything she wants. She has nothing to demand. You know, she's totally fulfilled. What's going on? And when she says she wants to do this, he basically voices that he feels personally slighted because she is doing this despite the fact that he gives her the perfect life. Right?
Sure.
So I'm starting to think there's maybe a little more at play here.
Sure.
You know, finance guy has a wife with a make work job. Like, is it possible that this woman is doing the stay-at-home mom thing and basically discovering that it doesn't give her the purpose that she feels she needs to function in society?
That's a really good read of it.
Yeah.
That's a really
it
good
could
read of
definitely
this.
be possible.
Is it possible that what she's kind of craving isn't necessarily like going in the Navy and protecting her country, but like feeling useful to the world writ large and not cooped up in her home where
Right.
she does this job she doesn't have to be doing?
Some sort of sense of fulfillment, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Because if she's unfulfilled, this whole thing just clicks into place, right?
yeah.
Like, the military is, of course, a little out there, but it is, for, you know, better or for worse, something that will fulfill you. You feel like you have a larger purpose than yourself, right? And it makes sense for her to immediately be like, I need something to fill this hole in me. This'll do.
Yeah, and not even the passion level of fulfillment or like a higher purpose or whatever. Just like your schedule is full. Like, you are not listless in the military. Like,
Yeah.
it is a thing to do. Like, in the most strict sense of the word, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe.
So why'd you join the Navy? Well, it was a way to get outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, no. But like, that is, you know, not to immediately jump to be like, I'm an empath, which means that I can decide how someone's feeling in my head and then immediately believe that it's true.
Right.
But like, I do feel like there is kind of an undertone here that she's not doing much outside of like stay-at-home momming. And if that's the case, you know, maybe it could be helpful to either, you know, direct her in some way, be like, hey, I found these things you could join or do, or, you know, you could also just let her get a job. Like, what if she just needs to do something part-time out of the house through a week? You know, her only obligation at present, it seems like, is this stay-at-home mom thing, which, I mean, is hard to kind of keep up with.
Yeah. And it sounds like she has family members that are like willing to help out with parenting if both parents have obligations. Like, she's been talking to the mother-in-law about being willing to care for the daughter when she's at boot camp. Like, okay, maybe we don't do the boot camp. Maybe we talk about, I don't know, going to school or something. I don't know. This just jumping into the military is sort of baffling me a little bit. I'm also kind of gathering that she might be getting recruited.
Yeah,
Thank
you think so?
I was like waiting for my opportunity to speak.
Yeah,
'Cause,
sorry.
like, that, no, it's fine. Because you're right. I think that you're in the military town. You have military people talking to you on Discord. Like, come on. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And you're watching military TikToks. and you're like getting obsessed in a way that feels not like, oh, I have like a listless life, and more, oh, all my friends are in the military and they're talking to me about it, and I'm watching all these videos and they're so fun and interesting and awesome, and oh my god, military, you know.
Okay,
That's my creative read on it.
I'm liking that too.
Yeah.
In either situation, like, I think you got to do what you can to prevent her from enlisting, obviously.
Yes. I think you guys are obviously on the right path of like, what you do is you sit her down and say, okay, are you not fulfilled with what's happening? Or is this truly something you've always wanted? You're going to strive for this for like the rest of your life? Or is there something else at play? And like you talk to her about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you need a job? Do you need this? Do you need like work? Do you need a new thing? Can we do something similar to military, etc.? Dude, what is that? Jordan has just sent us an image that is incredible.
Yep. I didn't know if you guys were aware of this, so I just wanted to send this your way.
So Jordan has sent an image that says, refer an enlistment, earn $1,000.
Yup.
So if you refer to someone,
That's going to be my full-time job from here on out.
This is a
You just got to ruin one guy's life a month.
that's why that image is so perfect, because all I can ever think about is like the army at like an anime convention, you know, like they show you like the cool like Jeep and guns, and they're like, just like your favorite shows. Now come on and join, Timmy.
Yeah, there's a lot we can talk about here. There's a lot we could talk about: the sense of fulfillment, the sort of maybe budding boredom with the stay-at-home parenting.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm really kind of gathering that I think she's getting recruited by a lot of people that want that sweet $2,000 sign-on bonus.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's rough.
Especially when you live apparently in like a military town, you know, like where a lot of people do that, I guess.
It's just so rough to do this. Like, I don't know.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, well, he has to stop her from finding something that she wants to do because she needs to stay home and take care of the kid. Like, that's a shitty read on this. And I don't mean that.
No, I think like that. You're correct that would be a shitty read on it. I do think it is completely in your right to say, hey, we're a family. We said together to take care of our family, you know, as a unit. So like, this is a huge amount of time and investment for you to do something by yourself and leave me with our family.
Yeah.
Is that worth it? Like, if it's really worth it, like, that's a huge decision for you to make with your partner. And if you're both okay with it, great, you figure it out. But like, you're allowed to be like, that was not something I was prepared for. You know, like,
when I
this
signed
is a
on for
big
this
decision.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to be like, I'm kind of upset by it. And I honestly don't want you to do that, because I do provide for our whole family. You know, I like what we have here. And now this is a big change.
Yeah.
Especially young, right? Like, they're like, this is a 24, 27. Like, they're not that old, right? They're in their 20s, like late 20s. And they have a family. And they've only been married 2 years. That's a decent amount of time, but not a long time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to vote on this?
Sure.
Decision time.
All right. When it comes to the guy, would he be the asshole for, let's say, trying to stop his wife from following her dreams?
Well, when you phrase it like that.
Yeah, make it a little harder.
Yeah, I think this is one of those cases where you really do have to remind your partner that this is a partnership. And while it is awesome, and you should encourage your partner to find things that get them fulfillment, like if they've found a new interest or something that is something they want to chase and push for, awesome. Like, that is something that you should support, you know? But everything has a boundary and a line, and I think this is one of those things that would cross that. Or I would be understanding with the poster, with this being the thing that crosses that boundary. So I do not think this guy is the asshole.
Danny?
I agree. I don't think that he would be an asshole in this situation to push back. I think that you're allowed to kind of be frustrated, and even if the issue is different of feeling fulfilled or etc., you're allowed to be a little upset about it and say, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't like it. And I think that's completely fine. I don't think you're an asshole.
Yeah, I agree with this. It's a lot. It's a lot.
The Council has spoken.
All right, this last one comes from AITAH. It's 2 days old. 3 fresh ones. Man, we can make something crazy out of this. This comes from username Yeezus Walks.
Nice.
Great.
Spelled WOKS.
AITAH for wanting to bury my parents in the backyard for tax exemption.
What the
Dude, I love
You know, we'll get into it in a
Reddit.
sec. I want to read you the first sentence here. This is the first sentence. The title says it all.
Does
No!
it?
Does it?
It does not.
Are
It
you sure?
actually-
I feel like
doesn't
maybe
say
the
that.
title does not say it all.
Omni-Man, are you sure?
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure. I buried them in my backyard, so wow. All right, I mean, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
The title says it all. The idea came about when I read about some billionaire who buried his wife in his golf course for a tax break. Okay, first and foremost,
Really good moral compass.
that's probably not the type of person you should be emulating.
Yeah.
Cool
I'm
guy.
gonna be completely honest with you here, right? Like,
that.
doesn't that's maybe not a great idea?
Mhm.
Hey, what do I know though? You know,
we're
I'm
just
not.
3 morons.
We're just chilling. I have a house with a decent backyard. I've checked all state and local zoning laws to ensure that it would be possible. It is. Okay, first and foremost, are you sure? Because I feel like maybe it isn't.
Yeah, I
don't know.
If I had to guess, I would say perhaps you are misinformed.
yeah, a little bit.
Both parents are still alive and kicking, which is nice. Oh, good. But when the time comes, I'll be actively working on burying them in my backyard and getting a nice tax break.
I'm sorry. Isn't that a little insane?
Yes.
Isn't this
Dude!
I know the idea of already burying your dead parents in your backyard is insane, but isn't it even more insane to think about this while they're alive?
Yeah. How do they feel about this? Are they like, oh, yes, of course, son.
holy
I can't
shit.
wait.
Oh, let's actually take it one step further. What are you going to do for the one that's still living? Like, when the first one kicks it, are you going to go, no, mom/dad, we're going to bury your husband/wife in my backyard so I can get some fucking moolah.
Money, moolah.
And your, like, 88-year-old dad isn't supposed to shoot you in the head? Like, what? Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Sorry, I just had to interject.
God.
Okay, so what are we trying to avoid here, right? Like, what are we trying to
know.
prevent?
A good moral compass. We're trying to prevent having a
for
conscience.
sure. Problem is, my parents already purchased their cemetery plot when I was a teen.
Wow. 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 What?
Then what the fuck?
What?
Why are we?
What?
Huh?
Fuck.
My parents already lovingly picked out where they want to lay their eternal rest. They've had
Honey, this is where you're
discussion
gonna
with
be
each other.
buried.
But no, actually, my tax break. God.
Wait, but I don't understand even what you would be doing this to avoid having to buy a cemetery plot, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
don't
They already have
know.
a cemetery plot. What the fuck?
Okay. Is he? I don't know. Where is this tax break coming from? That's what I. Okay.
Oh, you're gonna love this. We are gonna find out.
All right. Just let.
I read the
okay.
plot can be sold. However, I just wonder if we'd be able to sell the plot after their death. Oh my God, they're not even going to convince the parents.
They're just gonna wait patiently.
By we, I mean my 3 other siblings and I. I'd have to convince my siblings to agree with the burial. I live in Texas, but my entire family, mom, dad, and 3 siblings, live together in the same family home I grew up in California. I'd have to convince my siblings to let them bury the parentals in my backyard in Texas. I don't feel any type of way about it. Some might think I'm greedy or cruel for wanting to do this.
Yeah.
To be clear, the main reason for this is the tax exemption. Many people might think I'm being greedy, and I just want to let them know they are 100% correct.
Yeah, you got me.
Oh my God.
I feel like they owe me at least that after the 19 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse I endured at the hands of my violent father and my verbally abusive mother.
Okay.
I left home when I was
Right,
18 to join the Marines and get away from that cesspit that was my family home. Okay, wait.
How did you do this?
You're not even in the picture anymore?
How did you link a military post to another military post?
This is what happens if she joins the military. Wait, so explain to me what's going on here. This guy ran away from home to join the Marines. He did, and now he's like, well, the corpse of my estranged parents might make for a fantastic tax break.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
I
like,
guess.
you might think I'm greedy and cruel. No, I just want revenge.
Yeah, like literally that.
Yeah. All right, okay. I left home when I was 18 to get away from the cesspit that was my home. I'm approaching 40 now, and I've been navigating life by myself like the adult I am. I don't know, this is...
Cool.
For some reason, my entire family hates me for having left the home to go be successful, which my mom loves to say in a condescending tone of voice. Oh my God.
What is going on?
It's totally therapy, right? He's like, finally, when they're dead, I'll have my revenge.
Yeah.
I can get the last laugh by getting their corpse defiled and buried in my backyard. This is like the Sideshow Bob episode where he kills Bart and just like starts going crazy talking to his dead body. Like, dude, you need to go to therapy or something.
Yes.
Clearly,
Jesus
you have some
Christ.
unresolved something. If the parents are this mean to you, cut them out of your life a second time. You don't need to fantasize about how you're gonna fuck up their corpse. This is unreal,
This
dude.
is unbelievable.
My 3 siblings are ages 28, 32, and 35, and all mooch off our parents. My siblings work part-time in retail and all live off the same family plan, same 2 vehicles, everything. They share 1 bathroom in a 4-bedroom house. What is going on here?
I will launch my assessment of the situation into the wind when we're done reading it, but I have kind of cottoned onto it, I feel like.
I am the black sheep of the family for always striving to do better for myself and escaping a heinous environment. Still, some of my friends think it's fucked up I want to bury my parents in my backyard for a tax exemption. But they think it would be okay if it was out of the kindness of my heart to be able to visit them daily. To them, I say, what's the difference? I can still visit their headstone while playing cornhole in my yard, and they'd be doing me a solid in the afterlife. Property taxes are expensive, and if a billionaire can do it, why shouldn't I? It's the least they can do. Am I the asshole?
All right.
Cool,
So does anybody
okay.
else want to jump in
No,
first?
you know what, Jordan? Tell
No,
us
go,
what
go,
your
go, go.
analysis.
All right. So, of course, the parental, emotional, and physical abuse, very bad. I'm not going to glaze over that. That is something to deal with trauma-wise. But guy runs away from home, joins the military from his California family, goes to live in Texas, takes advice from billionaires. I think also the family mooches off of one another and is still live in California. I think there might be some other grudges being held between this military Texas resident and his California family that lives together. Just want to point that out.
That's a little creative reading, but oh boy.
Dare I say, Jordan, do you think that his family in California is woke and he is not woke?
Yeah. Just wanted to throw that little chestnut out there that, yeah. Okay. Now, to take this a little more seriously, obviously what this person experienced during their childhood, if I am taking it at face value, and, you know, if the poster decides to include it in there, I do believe that it's true. That's terrible. You experiencing a level of abuse that causes you to run away from home and join the military is an awful thing to have endured. But you doing that by saying, I will now get revenge on my parents and get some sweet moolah in the process is awful. You're a ghoul.
Yeah,
So,
dude,
yeah.
I don't know how to be like this. You're almost 40.
You're
Yeah.
a 40-year-old man.
If you want some kind of revenge on your family, you can get it by living your life.
Yes.
You know?
Correct.
It sounds like this guy is at least a little bit successful. Why, when you hear your parents say, oh, you're so successful, instead of saying, okay, I need to cut these assholes out of my life, why is your first thought, so I should desecrate their corpse? And let me tell you, if you do this, you are going to be visited by their ghosts like Banquo.
They're gonna
You are
haunt
not
you,
going to
dude.
be rid of them.
Yeah.
You're going to be fucking walking through the woods with your friends when your father's ghost compels you to seize control of the government.
Yeah.
You will be washing your hands every day and that spot is not coming out, dog. Number one way to get a haunted house. I just don't understand it. Man, it is Reddit. I would expect everyone to be on board with a stupid, petty revenge fantasy. This one, I think, is probably too much for even them. Whatever, like, you're 40. You got to get over this in a way that matters. You got to move on. You got to wash your hands of these people. I don't know how you think you are going to convince your parents or your siblings to go along with this insane scheme. And I don't want to be mean here, but you definitely did not do your research. He says, I went to look it up from zoning laws, and it is possible. No, it's not. The laws about what you can do with human remains are very strict. They do not come down easy on the side of the person moving a corpse. And if your plan is to get your backyard zoned as a cemetery, that's going to cost you $1 trillion more than the property taxes you save. Like, you need to talk to a fucking lawyer or a financial advisor.
Hopefully
or
a
person
therapist
with
first.
a brain that's functioning.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, even if you did all of this and got your tax break or whatever, if you ever need to sell your home, you are fucked, right? Like, am I crazy?
Oh, yeah.
How are you selling a home with your dead parents in the backyard?
People have difficulty moving houses that they buried their dog in the backyard.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, my parents' corpses are here, but don't worry, I defiled them for a property tax credit that you will now inherit.
The other part is, if we want to look at this from the whole revenge point, right? You're already winning in your own definition.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you went to the
doing
military.
fine.
Like, okay, your siblings are these soy liberal welfare children or whatever you would say
Welfare queen.
that are, above the age of 30 and working off retail, mooching off your parents, and your mom is air quotes saying successful and rolling her eyes. Like, if you want to be petty about it, then that's how you're winning. You got it. You got your successful life. You have your home. Your family is stuck back in a place that you wanted to escape from, and you did. You don't have to grave rob. Go to therapy and live a better life without this mountain-sized chip on your shoulder.
Hey, you want to vote on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Decision time.
Will you be the asshole if you decide to cause the events of Macbeth to happen in your backyard? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're a
Yeah,
ghoul.
dude, I don't. On the off chance that this person listens to this podcast, which I think is unlikely, we're a little woke. Please don't do this. Like, this
Don't do this.
isn't going to end well.
I honestly
and
beg
let me
of
tell
you.
you, if you do this, regardless of what you've accomplished on your own, your legacy is going to be the guy who grave robbed his parents. That's what you're going to be known for. Do what you
Wow.
can to prevent that from happening.
My favorite part of the post is that his friends are like, dude, that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be doing
Don't
that, man.
fucking
That's
do
like,
that. And he's like, I don't know. Whatever, dude. And I'm like, yes, keep posting.
I looked up the zoning laws, and I'm going to take my woke-ass Cali parents' dead bodies and throw them in my backyard.
It kind of speaks to like the temporarily embarrassed millionaire mindset of like American, like the fact he's like, why can't I, like a billionaire did it in his golf course. Why can't I? It's like, so that wasn't cool either.
Yeah. I'm going to get my moral compass from a cretin of society.
this one was fucking fun. This was a fun
This was
article.
awesome.
It was great. It was great.
Now it's got me thinking about it. I'm like,
Who could I bury in my backyard?
Yeah.
What if I just found people that were dead and just like put them in there? How much money do I get per corpse in my back lawn, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I mean,
look
that's
up
how
the
that's how
zoning
Luigi
laws.
was able to get his haunted mansion,
Yeah, it's true.
You're making your own haunted mansion, yeah.
Just a YouTube short about it. This is the dark lore that Nintendo doesn't tell you of Luigi's Mansion.
This guy buried his parents in his backyard.
Danny, you're so good at it.
Want to learn more? Subscribe to Will of the Councel to find out.
The council has spoken.
And on that note, I think we can call it.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.